Good morning, good early morning. It's been a full week since Art's gone on his trip, and we are going to try to get everything finally finished and tidied up in the yard, in the garden, get the garden mostly planted today. It's going to be a busy day. That's just reality. It's his first day off, so we're going to be working on that all day. First order of business is getting these plants put in the garden. It is early. I'm trying to work out in the cool. I worked on it last night, but the mosquitoes were something fierce, and I just said, no, I'm not dealing with mosquitoes. So I'm out this morning. It's before 8 o'clock, and I'm going to I should note that before 8 o'clock is early for me. Some of the kids are still sleeping. Peter's going to make pancakes while I'm out here. Kind of smartened up a little bit and started using the wagon to lug all the items to our back garden because I just kept finding I was running back and forth, but we've got them in here now. These are eggplants, so I'm going to start with eggplants. There's one lone tomato there, and start with the eggplants and then move from there. But we already have the invasion of flea beetles. If you guys have never seen flea beetle damage, that's what it looks like. It looks like little bullet holes in the plant leaves. And actually, look at that. There's a flea beetle right now. So these guys are bad news. If you see them on your plant, you see they hop like fleas. You see, there he goes. Yep, those are flea beetles, and we'll go ahead and put some diatomaceous earth on them, and that's going to actually stop them. We won't have any more problems, but we're not quite there yet. We'll get them planted, and then I'll treat them. Reinforcements have come. Art's helping me get some weeding done, getting these beds ready, and then I've been working over in this bed here. This is going to be eggplant here, but I just noticed from
I
almost stepped on the spider. Oh yes, that's what I was going to show you guys. If you guys don't like spiders, look away now. Look at that spider.
It has a sack.
Yep, I saw him last night. He was my friend last night. I don't care. He's fine. He's good in the garden. But last Saturday we planted our beans, and look what's coming up. I was so excited. Look at that. So we'll just leave these will all come up real nice. We watered them.
Exactly like all seeds when we
That's right.
planted it in the bag.
Beans look like beans. I didn't check. Come over here, kiddo. I didn't check the pole beans to see if they're coming up yet.
This one's not get big down.
Let's see. Oh, there it is. That one popped up too.
Really big.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one.
Can I try over here?
There it is. There he is. You just have to look for him. Yep, be gentle. Oh, there's one. Oh, it's so fun when plants just start emerging. Art's helping dig holes right now for the eggplants. If you guys have watched some of my other videos, you always know that I use newspaper to make paper collars to put around the base of the eggplants, and that just helps protect these guys a little bit more. We have one stray tomato. He's going to go in another pile. But we decided what we're going to do is 3 rows of 6, and Art is using his mighty muscles to dig holes for me. You notice this soil is much, much different than our garden. It has a much higher clay ratio to it, so we're going to be adding a lot of organic matter over the foreseeable future, trying to bring this back to life. But it's actually really dry. You can see how it's crumbling here. This is all clay, and this was wet just 2 weeks ago. We had 4 inches of rain, but we've pretty much had no rain since, so that's what we've got right now. We've been watering out here, and there may be rain next week, but Art, that's looking good.
Can you show them our water mobile?
No, I didn't. This is our water mobile. We just took one of the totes that we had in our barn. We filled it up with water, and we're just using that to water out here just because we're so far from the house with the garden and the hose and all that. But we water out there, and we're watering over here. The good thing about clay is it holds the moisture really, really well. It just gets really hard and really dry when it is dry, but it does hold the moisture, which means overall less watering for me, but just because when was the last time we had rain?
It's been a long time, probably a couple of
2 weeks or so. So now we're at that stage where we've got to water the seedlings. But I have to show you something that I found yesterday. Look what sprouted. It's corn. I have never had corn, but I have corn. I am so, yep, there should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all there. And there's more over here. It all hasn't, I see 3, 4. So we're still missing 2 on this one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing 2 on this one. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I only see 4 on this one right now. Also, the pumpkins that we planted and all of the vine stuff is just starting to come up too. This is just so exciting. I don't think I told you guys we have eggplant over here. We have peppers, cucumbers. We put in a tomato over there, so we've got a lot already starting to come up in just a week. It takes quite the crew to bring in the water. I guess that's the real definition of teamwork, right? We are done for the time being. I think, what time is it, 9:30 or 10? I don't know.
I don't even, let's see.
We've been working non-stop. Haven't stopped to look at the watch. Just from the time, the way the sun is. 10 o'clock, that's what I was thinking. We finished the eggplant over there, and then this here, right here in the corner, are all of our leftover peppers. We have 2 more beds available. This one here is going to be tomatoes, and then this one here is going to be tomatoes. I have my tomato plants right there. Most of these are going to go in. I've got one patch of basil. We'll probably sprinkle that in with the tomatoes too, because they say basil by tomatoes makes them taste better. But the kids have made brunch for us, so we're going to go in, eat, and then we'll come back out and hopefully finish this up. Well, as much as we can get done today. Big Red is over here and brought over the trailer for us. We picked up another load of mulch the other day and we hadn't unloaded it. So we've got that, and look at Daniel has his own little red wagon full of mulch. He's helping too. Okay, we're going to put it right on the paths, Daniel. Where's the path?
Right here, Daniel. You go put it right here where the paths are. You go put it right there.
Oh. Girls, show him where it goes.
It goes
right there. Good job, Grace. That's right. What are you up to, Art?
I am trying to clean out the barn and then get all the wood in the barn.
The plywood, right?
Yes.
Okay. We're making progress. It's far better than what it was a week or two.
It's still bad.
It's still bad. We went ahead and took a break for a little while just because it was so painfully hot. And everybody had to just get a minute to recover. But we are hydrated, we are snacked up, kids are swimming, and swimming. Tote swimming, if you want to call it that. I am going to my garden now, and I'm going to try to get the cucumbers in and a few of those things, which I haven't put in. My beans, I thought for sure I had the rattlesnake pole beans, and I don't. I have tons of bush beans, and I don't like bush beans are fine, but they just do not produce like, they do not produce like pole beans. So I went ahead, Baker Creek was totally sold out of them. I went and found another company that had them. They should be here by Wednesday, which is fine. I don't have a problem waiting a couple days. We're still well before Memorial Day. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to get what I can get done, and that would be putting in cucumbers here to climb up the trellis here. This worked really well last year, and we want to do that again. So I need to plant those in. I've got to harvest my spinach. This is my winter spinach. This is bolting, so get that done. Peas are doing really well, and then we have to move the bricks, and I'm going to put some zucchini and squash plants here. So I finished planting. Cucumbers are right up against the side of the trellis here. And then out here, you'll notice there's another row. I went ahead and put radishes and nasturtiums with hopes that that will keep the cucumber beetles away. Then behind the plant, behind the trellis here, you'll see there's 3 rows. These 3 rows have more carrots in here. The carrots did really well back here, so I thought I'd stick with what worked. They were very happy, so I put 3 rows instead of 2 rows last year. And then over here you can see that I've got the cucumber seeds. That's a little cucumber seed right there, and then I have nasturtiums, and then that little guy there is a radish seed, and then I put fertilizer in both of the trenches, so just a little bit, not a whole lot, but just enough to get the plants off to a good start. And then I need to put spinach back there. It's 4 o'clock. I've been out here 8 hours. I'm gonna just call it quits. I did not finish everything I wanted to get done. I put some tomatoes. We had extra tomatoes, so I put them along the fence here. We'll just stake those up there. Haven't had tomatoes in this back section for a really long time. We'll see how they do. They're just the Roma varieties. They were actually extra seeds that I didn't think would come up, and they did, and they thrived. So I felt like I had to give them someplace at least in my garden. And then I still have my zucchini and my squash and things like that to put in. That's for next week. We're gonna mosey on to picking up the yard and getting ready for dinner, because that's you have to feed the tribe. So anyways, that's the update here. Everything needs to get watered, and then we'll just call it quits out here. But this is my very much my reality right now. I thoroughly enjoy being in the garden, being outside, even though it's hot and sweaty and dirty. It just feels so good, and this is what I really enjoy. So you guys probably have seen that some of my videos are a little bit on the shorter side. It's just because ants. Working outside all day doesn't leave me a lot of time to edit. But this is only for a short period of time. Once the garden is in, it's just maintaining it, which I don't foresee, at least for my 2 gardens in this in our yard, to be that big of a deal. In fact, today as I was planting out here, I was telling Art, I used to think this was such a big garden, and I'm like, wow, this is really easy compared to what we've been doing in the back garden. Just part of it's the soil has changed, but also because we've been working this for enough years, we don't have nearly the weeds that a new garden has. So our main work is going to be in those 2 back gardens, and these guys are going to be easy, but we're just going to take it one day at a time and get more work done. I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to get everything watered here and then head on inside.